Looky, looky, folks. Guess what we have going on here? Another upgrade of an already nice product, but an upgrade nonetheless. Cannonball Cats Hunting on a Budget Texas here, folks. Doing another upgrade of a rifle. We're going to dig into it shortly. This is my personal rifle. They're all my personal firearms. Everything you see has been bought and paid for by me and by the bank account, of course, that gets funded by my job. I don't work for any of these manufacturers, and I don't take any input from them. I do this all on my own. I spend my own money. I speak my own words. You're going to get those on this one here. If there's any bad, I'm going to tell you about it. Hopefully it's going to be all good because there's a lot of money invested here, folks. All right, Cannonball Cats Hunting on a Budget Texas coming back with the build. See you shortly. Okay, folks, so this is what we're upgrading right here. We've got a Ruger American Gen 2, and this is in 6mm ARC. This is the Ruger American Ranch, so it has the 16-inch barrel. Of course, at some point, I want to pop this brake off of here, and I'll either throw some thread protectors on it, or I'll put some other type of brake on there. I'm not a huge radial muzzle brake fan, but it'll serve its purpose. I mean, it's a 6-arc. It really doesn't need a brake at all. But anyway, that's what I got. And then you can see here, I forget what brand this is. I went ahead and changed the knob out already on it. The firearm hasn't been fired yet, of course. I've got a bolt shroud, anodized red bolt shroud coming also. You know, you can get them in black, you can get them in stainless color, and get all kinds of different types of bolt handles. I like red, man. Kind of a cool color. That's why I got this for the stock also. And we'll go from there. But anyway, let me get set up, and then I'm going to give you the build from start to finish. So you'll see me break down the stock. You'll see me install the new stock, install the buffer tube, grip, basically everything except the scope. I am going to be using this Warren Skyline mount that I picked up. It's a 34mm. I have a scope coming, and I just haven't received it yet. I might throw something on here just to finish the look of it, but that scope that I've got coming is really gonna finish it off nicely. I've got a Burris XTR 3.3 to 18 coming, and I'm real excited about that scope. It's a nice compact scope, and it's going to be a very, very good mid-range powered scope, and it should work perfectly on this rifle with this little 6-arc. Anyhow, let me get set up, and then we'll get rolling. All right, folks. So this uses the AR style magazine. That's what I actually picked up that Heatseeker in, that same fashion. So this guy, as you can see, let me take the bolt out right quick, get this out of the way, set it right over here, and get this off of here right fast, and show you guys for the record. You can see that there is nothing in there. There is no magazine in place, no ammo, no bolt, nothing that can be done with this firearm. It is completely safe and unloaded. I'm gonna set it right here right quick. Let's go ahead and get this guy prepped. I'll tell you what, I love this Master Vice setup. It is one of my favorite tools to use. I've built a number of rifles with it, ARs, put together a number of other bolt action rifles, or built them on chassis. This thing is great, man. I got it for Christmas as a gift from my darling wife, who supports my bad habit, and man, I tell you, I couldn't be more thankful, because that thing has made life so easy. It has just made life so easy. All right, so essentially what we're going to do to take this bolt and barreled action off is essentially we're going to come in here and we're just going to take out these 2 action screws right here. This is a separate piece that's going to come out, and then the barreled action itself. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this scoped rail right in this section right here. There's a couple of teeth here that work perfect for grabbing scoped rail, as well as Arca rails and so forth. They fit just right in there. Again, I mean, look how easy that tool will make this job. And it already inverts the barrel action just like I need it, right? Pretty cool. So first we're going to take this guy out here, loosen him up, pull that action screw out. Let me put it over here so I can lose it. That's what happens with the mess I always have out here. But the good thing is I'm going to put this one right with it, so if I lose one, I lose them both, right? Then I don't have to worry about trying to find one or the other, because they're both them daggone things will be going. All right, and that's it. Stock is off. It's important to note the reason why these Ruger Americans are so accurate from the factory. The stocks themselves are not the best stocks. I mean, hell, this one is a lot better than the Gen 1 version, in my opinion. But where they really make them shoot well is even with a cheap stock. You can see that these posts here are metal, and you can see that the bedding blocks are metal, and they mold those into the stock, but that's what your action bolts onto. So you get a very, very rigid action. Put this out of the way over here. You get a very rigid action, and it makes for a really, really great product. So there's a little bit of a pointed order that this would really go in. I'm just gonna wing it. I know how to put together a rifle, and I know how to put together a chassis. So I'm gonna wing it, and hopefully I'll do this thing without painting myself in the corner. The reason why I say there's a pointed order it has to go in is because the way that this forend goes on, it has to go in after a couple items are done. There's the chassis body right there. You're gonna notice right here, you'll see this is the gray mag release right here. It comes with a black mag release because I build a lot of ARs, and then of course I don't have a lot because I lost them all in the tragic boating accident. But because I build a lot of them, I have a lot of extra parts like these left over, parts that I didn't lose in the tragic boating accident. So I'm able to put them on firearms like this. And let's see what this one says here. This says Sharps Bros Heatseeker, model Ruger American Ranch. See if you can see that right there. So what we're going to do with this, pretty straightforward. We got a bag of parts here also. By the way, before I go any further, almost already messed up, didn't I? Let me get out all these little parts. Okay, there's your blocks, your action blocks. It comes with two of them because obviously the ones in the existing stock are already molded in. So from what I recall seeing, let me grab this right here real quick. It appears that what we'll do, excuse me, go ahead and set these blocks in place. And they sit in there pretty nicely. Pretty snug. That's a good fit. I like that. The trigger here is the stock trigger. At some point I'm going to change that out. Go ahead and don't monetize me, YouTube. I am modifying this firearm, and I'm doing it for the bane of your existence, YouTube. Like I've said before, I'm here to be the bane of your existence. All right, let me take this, let me set this in place. It goes right on just like that. That's in there, it's locked in, and they give you a handy dandy tool for your action screws. Pretty cool. Let's take a look at these action screws real quick. They look pretty good. Thing looks good. I'm curious to know if these are the same. These are the same size as the others, but let me see. We got this tool here, and that's pretty good right there. Let's check and see if this is the same. And they are the same, so it actually works with this same tool that I use already. So this is a 3/16. So these are 3/16 heads, folks. So let's get this started right quick. Not gonna torque anything down, just getting them in place. And You know what that tells me? These are the original ones here. I hadn't lost them yet. Let me see how they look. They're actually identical in size, so I don't want to lose those ones from the original, but if I do, I've got extras now, considering that these guys are here. So I'm just gonna make these guys snug right quick. So torque wise, I ended up not using that tool, but I'm gonna in a second. So I'm gonna torque these guys on here right quick and get these guys in place. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this tool that they have provided, and I'm gonna use it with my fix-it sticks. If you ain't got a set of these fix-it sticks, holy cow, get yourself a pair of these, because these things do everything, and it goes everywhere. You can see there from 0 to 65 inch-pounds. I don't know if you can see that or not. There you go. But anyhow, I've been joined by the family mascot here. I don't know what she's looking at, but anyhow. All right, so let's get these. I want to loosen it up just a bit real quick here. They're still threaded in. I'm just taking them a little bit loose. I want to make sure that I've got this guy sitting just right in here. Throw a little bit on there now. Now he ain't going nowhere. Throw a little bit more. Okay, now we'll get this guy torqued. And I don't like to do everything in one shot. I do it in a couple of shots, so that way it kind of ties evenly. So right now, I took them both to 45 pounds. Now I'm gonna go ahead, take it to 60. Right there. And this is not a breakover wrench. Mind you, this fix-it sticks are not a breakover, and it's 60 right there. So now we are solid, baby. We are solid. So, take that out, put that here. I'm gonna leave this stuff right here just in case I need them again. So according to what I'm seeing, the next step is you put the handguard on. But before you get the handguard there, they had suggested that you do a little bit of this backside work first because you have access to it. And so we're gonna do that. See, this is the grip I'm putting on, by the way. This is gonna stick with it. This is B5 Systems model 22, and I'm a huge fan of these. I love Magpul stuff too, but this is a virtually vertical, and it's got like a sandpaper type texture, but it's not too aggressive. I just really like these. So, and they're inexpensive, man. These things come in at, got this one for 16 bucks. You know, so I mean, come on. Oh, was I not supposed to give the price? YouTube, and go to hell. All right, moving on. Let's see. Let's get this guy in place. So this is a Phillips head. I would prefer if they gave these in some type of a hex head, but Phillips head's fine. It works. Make sure that will thread okay here before I. Oops. Of course, I just dropped everything. I see where the lock washer is right there. I don't really need it, but the goal here is just to make sure that this thread's on, so I'm not doing everything in vain here. Yep, okay, it goes in place. We're good. Let me grab this lock washer here. Put it back on. Okay, let's see how this grip fits. And on these, anyway, you need a flat top style grip. And so, like I say, I really like these B5s anyway, so it works out perfect for me. All right, now here's where this is so nice here, because I don't want to lose that lock washer. So what I can do is I can turn this guy out here. I can do this, lock them in just like that. Pretty cool, huh? And now I don't have to worry about this little lock washer falling off of here. I just have to worry about dropping the whole damn thing, right? Let's see. See if I can find the hole. Pause. Anyhow, sorry guys. That was a little distasteful humor for all you ladies out there, but so I apologize for that. But it was just a moment there. All right. Let's see. I did find the hole and it is going in nicely. Pause again. Sorry, I just can't help myself right now. It's Friday evening and I've been chomping at the bit to get this stuff so I can build this out. So anyway, all right, grip is on. Okay, loosen this back up. Bring this back up this way. Get it in position here. Nice and solid. Now, on the buffer tube. Anodized red. Told you guys I like red. I know. So, I actually ordered a red castle nut also, but it hadn't come yet, and I just can't wait because I'm too excited about building this. And so, using another castle nut, and I'll just use that red one on another rifle. I got a lower I got to finish putting together in another 6 arc. One of these other ones I'm gonna lose in a tragic boating accident, but got one of those, and I'll just use the red one on that one. Hell, it's OD green. It's got flat dark earth on it. It's got black parts on it. It's got a lime green, a couple parts of lime green. Why not have a red castle nut, right? All right, let's thread this guy in. So what we want to do is we want to thread this guy in all the way. Let's get him all the way in. So that's as far as it goes. It's not lined up, okay? So the goal here is to get your adjustments lined up. So I'm gonna have to back them off and come back to this point right here. And while I do want to torque that in, and I'll pause the video to torque this castle nut. What I am going to do, let me find this other part here that Sharps Brothers provide you. There it is right there. See that right there? That little guy right there goes in a little slot here, and it's that little smooth slot where your buffer tubes have, and it's designed to kind of hold it and keep it from twisting. I don't know how good it'll do, but we're gonna put it in and see how it does. I don't even know what size that is. Let me see. I got the right size. I do have the right size right there. And I couldn't tell you what size that is, but I'm going to call it itty bitty. Okay, let's just call that itty bitty. So if you go to put one of these together, just get you an itty bitty hex wrench and you'll be fine. You know, I did something a little bit wrong here already. I can see is I made the mistake of putting the grip on before using this itty bitty and putting this guy in place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the best I can with it and get it in there, and then I'll tighten it down once I can get it right to where I need it. I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video right quick, so that way I can get this torqued in. Also, the castle nut, you guys don't need to see that. I didn't normally call out for 40 pounds on ARs. I'm not gonna do 40 foot-pounds here. I'll probably hit it at 20 pounds and that'll be good enough. I'll be right back, folks. Okay, guys, I'm back. Got this taken care of now. And just checking how everything fits. You can see I got the buffer tube on. Got the castle nut tightened. Got the small screw in here. I put a little bit of Loctite on that small screw. I didn't make it super tight, but put a little bit of Loctite on there. Just keep it from vibrating out. I don't think it was really going to go anywhere either way, but makes me feel better. And you know, it just is what it is. So again, this is more for looks right now. This comes off one of my son's firearms, but it's just to get in place and kind of give it a little bit of perspective here. Starting to come together pretty good there, isn't it? You can see I changed out the mount. Since this does hold an AR magazine, I turned it over so I could actually torque this without putting any pressure on the rail, of course. And I actually held it in place too because I didn't want a lot of pressure on the action or on the base of the chassis either. But I do need to finished putting the grip back on. I actually took it off to make it a little easier to get to that. And so let me get this back on right quick. This will get it back in place, and then we'll basically be on the home stretch here. I can get this guy threaded in there good. There we go. Okay. Good. I don't know what that's rated at, but that's German engineering. We got that Guten tight. Okay, let me put this little tool away here that I was using. And I don't know if you guys know what this is, but it's one of my tools that I use for torquing buffer tube or castle nuts in place with ARs. Didn't really work in this application because it's not really suited for this application, but I tried it anyway, and you know, it is what it is. It didn't work, so I went ahead and just did it the old turn it over and hold in place like that method. But let me get this put away so that way it's out of the way and we can finish getting this guy put together. I know, I got a mess here, right? Anyway, you can fast forward through this if you don't want to see this boring stuff, but anyway, we're almost there. Okay, so let's do one thing real quick before I go full-fledged. I want to put this guy in place to make sure that he operates the way he needs to. So let's take this guy out. Let's see, let's check it. Safety's off. Boom. Okay, let's go to half cock. Right there, doesn't work. Bolts unlocked. Go full safety. Bolts locked. Back forward. Everything works. All right. Perfect. Did that before we went any further, just to be safe. Take that bolt back out before I put this front end on here in case there's any problems to address. We can address it while we're still not fully built out. And it just makes life a little easier. So, all right, so here is the two screws. And these are Allen's as well. I don't know what size those are. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I know it's not itty bitty. We already dealt with itty bitty size, so we can put that one away. I'll have to find the right size for these guys, and I think I just did. What size is this? This is the size with no name. So that's what you need. You need the itty bitty for this little screw, and you need the size with no name for these guys. I guess they make those commercially available. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of Loctite for these guys also. I'm not gonna make them too overly tight, but at the same time, that's why I use a little bit of Loctite, so it, when it dries in place, it enables the screws to still move, but they're more friction tightened than they are extremely tight. So basically this goes over the barrel in place like this, okay, and then it's going to slide on. It's got lips. Let me show y'all real quick up close here. This guy has lips. See that section, that rail? It's actually got a rail section that it slides in, so it's a pretty snug fit without the screws. The thing is, to take this out of the chassis, see, it slides into place, and I mean it's pretty good, you know. The thing is, when it slides into the chassis, once you have it in there, you can't really take the barreled action out without taking this section off because of this tight fit here with the overcap. So even though, you know, even though I'm putting a little Loctite here you want these guys to be removable, okay? Because when you take this guy apart to clean it, you definitely don't want it stuck on there, and you don't want to strip out a screw and then find yourself having to drill this thing out and then figure out how to get it repaired to make it work again, right? So what I'm trying to do here is see if I can get in there. Let me see. Let me turn this where not gonna be best for you guys' vision, but I got to get it where I can see it just a little bit better. So I'll do like this. I'll turn it. In fact, I'm just gonna put it all the way down like that, and that's gonna help me out quite a bit there. Actually, you guys can see that, so that's good. What I want to do here is I need to get me a flashlight. Make sure I can see what I'm doing. I can see where I'm putting this screw here. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay. It does give me a little bit of trouble. I dropped it, of course. It give me a little bit of trouble. It's not wanting to thread in there very good. I'm gonna try the other one right quick. I'm gonna see if it's just a thread issue or what. Let's check the other one here. Yeah, that one goes in pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in. Go and get this one in place here. And that way we got something holding it in place, and then I'll deal with that other one up there that's not wanting to thread very well. I'll just take a little talking to, huh? So let me see what I got here. I need to get another tool to make it go. I will. But the goal here is to obviously to figure out how to get it to go in place. I think I will. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me get another tool out here. I'm going to pause this real quick so I can get it to go. Okay. Let me adjust that there. So I got them, and had a little bit of an issue. It turns out it wasn't the threads in the handguard. It was actually the screw. Had a little bit of a problem, and so just had to have a little conversation with it, and I took care of that problem, right? Sometimes you just got to have a talk and let them know exactly where everything's at. So, all right, we got it here. I'll stand it back up. So, in a nutshell, this is what it looks like, folks, and it's sitting really nice in there. Everything looks pretty good. Let me look at it here a little closer. Everything looks good the way it rides in the stock. It sits good there. It rides good and straight across. Rides straight down that way. It's kind of an odd optical illusion because it almost looks like it rises, but it's not. I can see that it's not. It's just an odd look. Yeah. It's crazy, but anyway, it looks really good. My goal, of course, is to get to the range and obviously see how it performs. Sitting in there just right. You'll notice I look down the barrel just then before I'm doing from the back side before I'm looking down from the front side here. Just looking to see how it's balanced this way, and I mean it looks really nice. You can see how it sits in there. It's really good looking, straight and square. Everything is very, very symmetrical, and man, this is going to be a shooter. I know it is. So let me do this. I'm going to grab a scope off another firearm, and I'm going to throw it on here just so we can get a look at it and get it for reference. Give me a minute. Okay, so I waited to put this video together and complete this thing until I actually had the right optic. That way I could show you the actual finished product. But you might notice something here right quick as we're looking at this. I changed out the AR mag release. I think that's kind of cool, and went with the red button on this side. Again, something I had, and put that in there. And then I went ahead and changed out, as I said earlier in the video, that I was getting that red anodized bolt shroud coming. Got that in, went ahead and put that in place. So we are actually done now, but you're gonna notice something here. So a really nice burst scope, by the way, and it just goes great with the gun, with the actual length. But anyhow, you're gonna notice something here, and you'll see that mount right there. You're gonna see Arkin Optics, 20 MOA. This is a 34 millimeter mount. These Arkin Optics mounts run about $69. You can get them on Amazon. You know, if you guys have seen my other videos, you know I'm a big Arkin Optics fan. But you'll notice that that's there. And then if you look down here, you'll see a box with that worn Skyline, and that is getting ready to go back. That's a $200 item, folks, and one of the screws was stripped out when I got it. I sent notice to the retailer when I received it, because there was one of the ring cap screws was floating around in there and the package looked damaged, and I notified them. It looked like it was an open box. Some items in there just looked like it had been pre-used, and they sold it to me as brand new. They provided me with a quick response that they don't sell open boxes or used items. Interestingly enough, when I mounted it and went to put this scope on it earlier, that exact ring cap screw that had the problem would only torque down to 14 inch-pounds. It is rated to be torqued, or factory specs call for 18 inch-pounds at all the ring cap screws, and it would only go to 14. It had something stripped in there. I still think it was an open box. I think somebody had it, opened it, screwed it up, probably over torqued it and stripped it, and then sent it back, and then they tried to peddle it off as a new item still. Anyhow, it's going back. I'm getting my $200 and something back on it, and rest assured, I'm not gonna drag anybody through the sand or anything here, but rest assured, I will not do any further business with that retailer. And they're an eBay seller, so just watch yourself. Make sure you always mind yourself with the fraud protection. Just giving you guys a heads up. Anyhow, all right, folks, there it is, though. It is set up. That is the stock that I'm going to be using on it. That is a Vism stock from DLG Tactical, but it is a Vism, which is a division of NC Star. Call it what you will. That stock works really good. It is super simple to use. The cheek piece is nice and solid, and it puts my head right where I need to be to see right through this optic. So we're finished, folks. As with all my other guns that I've done builds and reviews with you guys on, I got to get this to the range, and once I do, I'll give you a range report. I got a lot of guns I got to get out there and shoot for you guys, but life happens and work happens, and that's what's been keeping me indoors and not out at the range. But I'm going to get there as soon as I can. All right, folks, just as I said earlier when I signed off, Cannonball Cats, I'm on a budget, Texas. God bless you. God bless America, and always, God bless Texas. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.